Hi, it's Jamie here at LGS, and in this video we're going to be looking at ProofHQ and specifically the ProofHQ viewer in a bit more detail. So we can see that I've opened up a web browser and I've got the ProofHQ viewer in front of me, and just looking at some of the tool sets, some of the control that yourself and your users or your colleagues or clients actually have over a proof. We can see in this example I'm actually using a multi-page PDF file. And we've already generated a proof from that content. And down the left hand side we can see all of the pages that appear within that PDF file. And just working from the top all the way across from left to right, we can see that we can show and hide those page thumbnails. We can actually use those to switch between pages. Next to that we can actually view single, which is what we're looking at now. So if I scroll up and down, we're just looking at that single page. We can put it in continuous, so that then lets us just scroll up and down all of the content within that PDF file. We can also put it in magazine view, and what that will do is actually join up the pages, and we can see that it puts these pages into spread. So depending on the content, you've got some different view options that are available in here. Moving over, we can see we've got an add comment button. So I'm just going to put that back into single, and if we select another page, and if I click on add comment, very powerful selection of tools that are available for our users to be able to mark up areas on the page. So again, working from left to right, we can select text in the platform. So if I just select that 20, we can see it puts a comment in and extracts that text. We've then got the ability to leave that on highlight. We can actually say replace, delete, or insert after. I'm going to use the replace as an example, and we can see now that it automatically puts that into the comment to replace 20. I'll say 25, and I can now save that. Next to that, we've got the rectangle tool that we can use. We can see that generates a new comment, so we can indicate to remove that logo. We have a freehand tool, and we can use that to highlight any area on the page. We've got a line tool, so we can draw lines on a page. We can actually adjust the thickness of that line from the selection. We can also change the color. Again, we can see the different options that we've got available to us. We can draw connected lines. We can double click to finish that. We've got an arrow tool, which can be very useful to indicate areas on a page. Again, we can change the thickness of that arrow if we wish. We've also got a highlight tool, which allows us to highlight specific areas on a page. So for instance, if we wanted to highlight that image, we can use that. And one of the things that we've actually got the ability to do is to write in any comment, but we've also got the ability to add attachments. So if you wanted to replace that image, you could say replace image and then actually attach on the comment itself the image that you wanted to replace it with. That's another feature that's available on the platform. Once we've finished marking up our comments, we've got the ability to finish that review, and then we can submit that back to the person that shared that proof with us, and we've got the ability to then make decisions on that proof depending on the situation. So we can either approve it, approve with changes, mark its changes required or not relevant. And you can actually customize this so you can change these messages that your clients see. I'm going to cancel that out for now. We can also see here that we've got the ability to compare. So we're going to cover that off in a separate video, but up in the top left hand side I can see that I'm currently looking at a V1 of this document, and the compare gives us the ability to easily make comparisons against different versions. We can see that we can change the comments view options. So we've got list, we can change that to full list, we can change that to single comment, so that way if you want to review each comment one at a time you can do that. And we see that we've got numbers next to each of the comments to make it really easy to be able to select each one of those comments. And next to that we've got the ability to hide comments completely from the page. We can still click and show that comment if we want. I'll stick the comments back into list view. Next to that we have the ability to filter comments, and this is really powerful if you've got lots of different people commenting on the same page. So that way you can filter from time, by page number, ascending and descending. You can filter by different people that have come through, so that way you're just looking at one person's comments or perhaps a selection of people. And you can also filter by the actions that have been selected. You can also hide any resolved or just apply it to the current page rather than all the pages in the document. So lots of tools there are available to control that. Just looking down the left hand side now, we can see that we've got a home button. That will take us back to the dashboard, providing that we're a user on the platform and we've got login details. The eye that we see here will take us to the proof details, again back in the main system. We can create new items here with the new item button, again if we want to generate a new piece of content around this. We've got the ability to view the workflow, so if we click on that we can see who the other people are involved within the chain of approval, and also what their status is, whether that piece of content has been sent, opened, commented, made, or a decision has been made on that piece of content. We can also see the role and the email alerts against that person. Looking at the I button, we can view details for the content, so we can see where that content exists, what the status is. We can also see that we've got the ability to share that piece of content either via an email message or via sharing to another user. We can change our email notification regarding that piece of content. We can also view a print summary of this piece of content. So this is really powerful. It allows you to either save to PDF file or to Excel or to print directly a full audit trail of everything that's taken place on that proof. So we can see all of the comments that have been written and who's actually written out those comments. So that way there's no sort of question marks against who's written what once that piece of comment has gone through the process, and you can look at that at any time. Looking further down the list, you've got the ability to lock that proof and also to delete that proof. Down the bottom, we've got the settings area where you can change your proof settings, your Windows settings and your comment setting, and there's also a help area where you can go straight to knowledge base or the blog. You can also switch the tour on, so the tour will appear immediately for any users that are new to the platform, but you can always revisit it and also look at the shortcuts. And down the bottom we can see that you can jump to different pages. We've got the hand tool that lets us move that content around, a zoom tool that lets us zoom in and out of that content, or you can set it manually. And there's also shortcuts to fit to page, fit to width, zoom to 100%. You can rotate your content, and you can also use a measurement tool to be able to measure anything on the page in pixels, millimeters, or inches. So I'm hoping that's been a good introduction to all the control that you've got within the Proof Viewer in ProofHQ. One thing to note is that I'm looking at the Proof Viewer with all access enabled, so you can limit the amount of control that your users have, so they don't necessarily have all of this functionality available within the Proof Viewer. If that's of any interest, please don't hesitate to get in touch and we can get you hands-on with a trial. Thanks for listening.